Hey, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another video. I'm excited about this series. We are going to be starting the Mountain Town series here in Eastern Tennessee. I did a poll recently asking you guys what you would prefer, longer videos featuring several different towns or shorter videos featuring just one town. You guys voted for the shorter video, so I'm going to do my best to give you a shorter video, and today we're going to be talking about Walland, Tennessee. Now, I actually lived in Walland for about 5 years when I was in high school. I lived there from my 8th grade year all the way through my senior year of high school. And I didn't really appreciate it quite as much when I was living there because I was a teenager. You know, I wanted to be close to my friends. I wanted to live closer to town. And what's funny is back then, nobody wanted to live 20 minutes outside of town. You know, everyone wanted to be closer to the city. This is back before, obviously, the population of this area kind of exploded. But the interesting thing is that now everyone wants to be 15 or 20 minutes outside of Maryville City. So, you know, this place has definitely become, you know, a little bit more popular than it was then. I will say I did enjoy my time in Walland. It was very beautiful. I had a little bit of land, you know, some dirt bikes and four-wheelers. So it was a fun kind of redneck good time. You know, I really enjoyed it. And I definitely can appreciate it a lot more now. So the first thing I want to talk about is sort of the terrain of Walland. Walland is definitely, you know, like the description says, it's more of a mountainous town. So, you know, you've got the Smoky Mountains, which are in Townsend, not too far off from you, and then you've got, you know, different mountain ranges like Blackberry Mountain, like Chilhowie Mountain, you know, nearby. So you're definitely going to have a lot of mountain land in Walland. And when I lived in Walland, we actually lived on top of a mountain on a double wide trailer that we had to take this gravel road way up to. You know, it's pretty redneck, but you know, again, it was fine. So you're going to have that. You're also definitely going to have some farmland out there. And then you're going to have, you know, all kinds of different neighborhoods. You know, now there's some really nice newer neighborhoods. You know, there's some older neighborhoods that were there even when I lived there and before. You've got, you know, like I said, your random, you know, properties that you're going to take like a big gravel road up to, you know. So you've got a kind of a mixture of everything out in Walland. One of the great things about Walland, though, is just how freaking beautiful it is. That's something that I really enjoyed when I lived there because, you know, every now and then it's one of those places where you come up over a hill and it's just boom, beautiful mountains. It's like something you see in a magazine or like a photo shoot. You also have the Little River, which flows all the way from North Carolina through the Smoky Mountains and then all the way down through Walland right there as well. So, you know, you've got a few different public access points and things like that. But that, you know, that gives you a lot of beauty as well. You know, I think that most humans are just wired to like love water. And so you're going to get that out there as well. Now, Walland is in Blount County, Tennessee, which is, if you haven't watched my video on Blount County, I definitely think you should because I basically go through and break down all of Blount County and just give you kind of the layout, how everything works. So definitely watch that video. So definitely watch that video if you haven't. But Walland lies right in between Townsend and Maryville, okay? So it's a really cool location because you've got Townsend and all that it has to offer with the Smoky Mountains, some restaurants and different things like that. And then you have Maryville City and everything that it has to offer. You know, you've got a lot of healthcare options, a lot of restaurant options, a lot of shopping, everything else that a big town is going to provide. And I've done videos on all of these towns, you know, Maryville and Townsend, so check those out. And I've even done a video on another surrounding area, which is Seymour. So you've got Seymour on the other side of Walland as well. Now, all of these towns, especially in the area, now in the areas where these towns kind of cross over into each other, these are all going to be, you know, sort of the same, you know, more mountainous, a little bit more rural areas. So even if it's maybe not directly in Walland, but close by, those are all going to be really good areas for you to check out also. Now, let's talk about schools for Walland. Now, I actually graduated from Heritage High School, which is the high school for Walland. You're going to have a couple different elementary schools, and I believe there's a couple middle schools as well. This is something that we're going to kind of have to explore, you know, as you're finding properties that you like. A good way to figure out, you know, the different schools and things like that is to check out niche.com. I just recently did a video on tools that you can use whenever you're looking to move to a new area. I'll link that here as well. And sorry I keep throwing all these videos on you guys. I just want to try to make these videos a little bit shorter per y'all's request. And so going back and watching some of those other videos are going to help you to be able to sort of look through these things as well. But I do a whole breakdown on niche.com on that video where you can figure out, you know, how to use it. That's going to be a really good tool for you. I'll show you here, you know, just a screenshot of niche.com, where it ranks heritage and everything like that. But again, that is the high school, and for the other schools, you're just going to have to check that out, you know, on your own. Okay, now let's talk about stuff to do in Walland. Okay, so Walland is really interesting. So like I said earlier, you've got the little river that flows through. So there's different public access points to where you can go fish, you can go swim, kayak, tube, you know, all that fun stuff that comes along, you know, with the rivers and the creeks and stuff. And then you also, there's a lot, and then also there's a lot of people who will actually park. There's this bridge right behind Heritage High School that's got like a big public area parking spot, and a lot of people will ride their bikes kind of on this little loop. You know, it's a really pretty bike. You've got, you know, lots of mountains. You've got the river there that you follow, so the traffic's not as bad there either. So I think that's maybe why it's a more popular area. There's also a few antique shops in Walland as well. So you're going to have, you know, and there's also a few antiquing shops in Walland as well. So if you like that kind of thing, you know, definitely go check it out. My wife and I were actually just up there. As you guys know, we're building a nursery for our little girl coming in December. And we wanted to just go see if we could find some cool stuff for the nursery, you know, so that's always fun to check out. And now other than that, other than that, there's not really a whole lot else going on directly in Walland. But like I said earlier, the cool thing about Walland is you have Townsend on one side of you, so 15-20 minutes, and then you've got Maryville on the other side, 15-20 minutes. And if you watch some of those other videos, you can kind of see what all those towns have to offer. But there's a bunch of stuff to do right there as well, and you're just not far at all. It's a really, really good location in my opinion. Now, let's talk about shopping, and I'm kind of going to breeze through this because just honestly, there's not much shopping. Again, going to be going to Maryville a lot. You know, you might be going to Townsend, but there are a few places that I do want to recommend for you guys, and this doesn't really have anything to do with shopping, but one of them is actually a gas station. It's called Lim's Corner. It's technically in Maryville, but it's kind of like pretty close to Walland. And the reason I want to recommend this to you guys is because I really like it. It's a super cool place, and what's funny about it is when we were in high school, that's where all of us high schoolers would pull up and buy our cigarettes after school. Now, I don't smoke now. I haven't smoked in years, but you know how it is when you're in high school. But it just, like, I have these memories of just like, you know, 30 kids walking into a gas station to buy, you know, a pack of cigarettes. It's kind of funny. I guess it's not funny because probably all going to have cancer. But anyways, now it's really kind of a different type of gas station. It's still a gas station, but when you walk in, it looks more like kind of like a deli / coffee shop. So they have really good coffee there. They actually have really good ice cream. My wife and I like to go up there from time to time to get their ice cream. They have like a honey vanilla that's really good. It's my wife's favorite. And then they also have really good hot dogs. Like I'm a pretty healthy guy, you know, I watch my diet, I work out and try to take care of my body. But when I'm having a cheat day, Lim's Corner's hot dogs are like in my like top 5 things I'm thinking about. Okay, now another place that I want to recommend is actually in Walland. It's a small little restaurant. It's they do like more like southern food, like lots of barbecue and stuff like that. Really good food, but the story is it's really sad, but it's like also, I don't know. I'm gonna let you watch the video, you decide for yourself, but I want to show you, you know, just kind of this story behind the snoring bear. Okay, so hopefully I didn't make you guys cry. It's kind of a beautiful story. You know, this family, you know, unfortunately they suffered a tragedy and they, you know, moved here to East Tennessee, just like you guys are trying to do. And it's what's really cool is how the community accepted them, you know, and their shop is great. You know, if you're in town, you should definitely go check out their restaurant, you know, grab some food, you know, and just see what it's like. I think you guys would like it. Now, as far as, you know, shopping and everything else goes, that's really okay. And so that's really going to be it for shopping. I mean, there's not really anything else other than some gas stations. You've definitely got some churches sprinkled around, but I'll tell you what, I don't even think there's a dollar store in Walland. So if that tells you anything, I might be wrong though. I'll have to look that up. Anyways, moving on, I want to talk about inventory and pricing. So keep in mind, Walland's a smaller place, but right now, currently, we've got about 16 properties listed for sale in Walland. And last year, we had about 56 properties that closed in Walland with a median sales price of around $400,000. So, you know, with that, you're, like I said earlier, you've really got a mixture of everything. You know, you're going to have some gravel roads going up to trailers. You're going to have, you know, some big, nice neighborhoods, real expensive homes with beautiful views. You're going to have some smaller neighborhoods that are maybe a little bit more affordable. You're going to have some farmland. Like I said, just a kind of a mixture of everything. And also when you're looking, you know, at inventory and stuff, like I said, you know, definitely check out those surrounding areas because they're very similar as well. So with that, I want to talk about some pros and some cons to Walland. So with that, I want to talk about some cons to living in Walland, okay? And one of those is going to be what we just talked about, which is inventory, okay? So it is what it is. It's a smaller place. You know, there's certainly places that sell. There were 56 last year, so you're going to have some things to choose from. And if we start looking out in kind of some of those surrounding areas, like I said, we're going to have, you know, more options there as well. But inventory is what it is. You know, you want a small town, especially in the mountains, it's kind of what you're getting. Now, another con is going to be, I'm going to say curvy roads. If you're not used to curvy roads, now I'm going to tell you this just from my clients' experiences, okay? You know, I like to keep in touch with my clients, and this is kind of what they're telling me, is that they all kind of say the same thing. It's like when you first get to Tennessee and drive on some of these crazy mountain roads, you kind of crap yourself the first couple times, but then as you do it time and time again, you get more familiar with it. You start, you know where the curves are, you know how to, you know, lean into them and stuff, and it becomes nothing. You know, you get really used to it. But the problem is that every now and then we get some bad weather here. You know, you might have some ice, you might have some snow, and when those things happen, you have to be really careful. You know your limitations, know that it doesn't matter if you have four-wheel drive or not, that's not going to help you on ice. So as long as you know that and you're prepared, you're going to be fine. And our local news usually does a pretty good job of preparing you whenever we've got some, you know, wintry, you know, weather moving in. So I'm going to throw that in as a con because it definitely is something that you're going to have to be prepared for and know about. Other than that, like, there's really not a whole lot of bad to Walland. Again, it's a beautiful place. You know, you've got a mixture of kind of everything. And if you're someone who's outdoorsy, you know, you want to be close to the national park, but you also kind of want to be close to town. You know, like I said, it's kind of right in between that. So it's a really good location for someone who's looking for that, you know, type of situation. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I don't know how short it's going to turn out. Hopefully that it's it's less than all my other videos for you guys' sake. But anyways, y'all have a great day. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you need anything at all. Check my website out, realtorchev.com, if you guys want to check out some properties in Walland. Again, it's a hassle-free, no cold call website that's linked to the MLS, so you can go check out any properties you want. But anyways, y'all have a wonderful day. I'll catch y'all in the next video. Thanks. Bye.